What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Well, just when things couldn't get any better. I mean, worse. I don't know what's going on. This country is just breaking apart at the seams, and nobody that voted for the current administration seems to be paying attention. Some are starting to come around, but it's very, very few and far between. So I'm going to give you guys a 10-minute breakdown on what the hell is going on in the country this week. I don't know if I want to start with Lil Nas X. I don't know if I want to start with donuts for juice. There's a crisis going in Myanmar, wherever that is, on the border underneath China. Like hundreds of people are being killed just because of the need for independence, and we're not paying attention to this. Again, all this is due in part due to the Chinese government, that we're just like, oh no, we're good. Let's just keep doing business with them. Why not? Do want to clarify some things? The Lil Nas X shoes. It is not, even though they're using Nikes, I'm sure Nike is going to come out this week with some kind of statement. It's actually a company called, where is it? It's a company called MSCHF. They're just they try to make money. They print money by doing bullshit to shoes. They've done this with, what do they do? They did a Jesus shoes in 2019, and they sell things for like $1,000 a piece. So I'll talk about that in a second. Let's first talk about, go ahead and share this out. I know it's Sunday morning. This is like a little late church sesh or early church sesh, depending on where you're from. And make sure when you watch this, you share it, hit the like button, etc. So here's the deal. So let's start with the donuts for juice. So let's look at the backward ass place we are in this country. It's a couple days ago. There is a statement made by Krispy Kreme donuts. So delicious. I get it. That's the last thing our country needs, is more reason to have heart condition, diabetes, etc. So let's go ahead and give away free donuts. That's their statement, to anybody that gets the vax, the juice. It's cool. So instead of, again, our country missing the opportunity, like I've said with Chris Christie in the past when he talked about, I didn't know that Corona was as bad as it was. Bro, you're 180 pounds overweight. And now we're a country that's promoting getting this juice. I got to keep calling it juice because apparently every time you say the V word, it bogs down your algorithm. So you're going to go ahead and promote free donuts. You're going to promote free donuts to people who get the juice. So you know what? Let's continue the awful health program we have in this country. How about this? Let's give subsidies to organic farms. Let's make organic food affordable to all ethnicities, all socioeconomic backgrounds. Let's allow everybody to actually have a chance to buy healthy food. No, what's cheap is the dollar menu at McDonald's. You've got free donuts for taking the juice. I'm gonna, you know what? Just share it as much as possible. So let's go ahead and say vaccine. It's a friggin' vaccine. So now we're making it mandatory. There is Rutgers University is now saying you can't come back to in-school learning at a campus that you pay for, even though I know it's private education. They're allowed to do what they want. It's still stupid. Can't get, I mean, I'd be transferring. You can't go back without the vaccine. I've got a buddy that has been told if he wants to go back to work in office and not work from home, he has to get the vaccine. We never did this about the flu. I know this is a little bit more serious, ish. A little bit more serious-ish because, again, the variants that are coming out now are less deadly, a little bit more contagious, supposedly, but less deadly. The only reason they might be deadly is because, I don't know, we have no immune systems. Why? Because we're eating donuts all the time. We haven't gone outside. We don't get any fresh air. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. So you've got our country promoting donuts for vaccines instead of, how about free gym memberships? Whoa, what about that? How about if you don't get, actually I heard about this, I can't remember what state it was in. There's a gym that said if you don't get the vax, you're going to go ahead and get a free gym membership at our gym to take care of yourself. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Rose, yes, share this out. Jay, what's up, buddy? If you're not on a show soon, I will find you and hunt you down in a good way. Love when Jay comes on, different opinion, able to articulate it very well. But yeah, so we're giving out donuts for vaccines. Why? Why is that the choice that we've made? How about like lettuce for a year or broccoli for a year? Or I don't know. Okay, let's talk about this Lil Nas X stuff because this is troublesome. This is one of those ones. It's like, I don't want to believe some of the stuff that I watch in the like Fall of Cabal stuff. Like, is it really that bad? Is this really that Okay, so Lil Nas X has admitted that he is a children's art. He's like, I know my biggest following is children. I understand that. He is the first like rapper to truly come out as homosexual. More power to him. I love the fact that we're able to start having open conversations in the last decade over stuff like that. So he knows that children are following him. He had the Old Town Road with Miley's dad, with Billy Ray Cyrus, and it became a huge hit, #1 hit for the longest in history, developed a huge children's audience, and now he comes out with a song like called Montero, which is his real name apparently, where he is in heaven or in like a heavenly place, kissing, like it's like an Adam and Eve setting, falls down to hell. And as he's going down, hits a stripper pole, does a strip tease in very scantily clad clothing. There's imagery all over it. You've got the pentagram. You've got the eyeballs. You've got all these creepy ass things. And even as an adult, I'm like, this makes me feel dirty. So this is a man that knows that kids are his biggest following and is doing all this satanic, demonic stuff. He does a striptease on a stripper pole. He then pumps and grinds on the devil. Looks like he's taking it from behind from the devil. Like that's taking the whole, like when I say like, where did we go from acceptance of certain things like transgenders and homosexuality? Acceptance is key. But now we're celebrating it. So now you've got a children's artist that's getting hammered from behind, it appears, from the devil in hell, wearing very little clothing after giving a strip tease, tickling his body all over, and then taking his horns and becoming the devil. And this is going to our children. It gets worse. So now there's a special edition shoe that he agreed to partner with. It's not Nike. I want to be very clear. I've already boycotted Nike for several different reasons, for several different years, but this is not a Nike product. It's using a Nike shoe that's bought by a company called, I keep wanting to bring it over, MSCHF. MSCHF is the company. They're producing 666 shoes for like $1,000, where they're using a drop of blood in the little Nike area, and they're putting a scripture on there that's about the devil being banished, or Lucifer or whatever being banished from heaven. So let's just check this concept out. You've got a quote-unquote children's hip-hop artist that came out of the closet, continued to talk to children, said on a post on Twitter a couple years ago that he was an industry plant, which is what all of these groups that think a little alternatively or a little further than most of us do at Primetime Patriots and Be the Change and all of our groups are like, oh, that's pushing it. Are they really that? And he's literally saying, I'm an industry plant. He got in good with kids, made kids his followers, and now is doing a satanic video. No doubt about it. I'm not going to mince words. And now making a partnership on a shoe that contains a 1 drop of human blood and has pentagrams all over it. And they're doing 666 of them. This is exactly what the Christian side of us is fearing. And also, meanwhile, we're not allowed to have Christian beliefs anymore without getting a little bit of flack for it, whereas this is being celebrated. It's something to look out for. It's scary, scary, scary stuff. Period. If anybody can explain why this isn't scary, I would love to hear it. This isn't just something. It's funny. Like, you look at the book of Revelations, and in my mind, I looked at it and I go, oh, some things are matching up. This shit, Lil Nas X is not just a small deal. He is literally, his Old Town Road broke all Billboard records for the most amount of weeks in first. It's a big deal. He is a big name. He is the #1 name in hip hop for a calendar year, and now he has switched gears to strictly now doing a video about Satan, the devil, selling shoes with human blood in it. Like, this is not okay. And as Angela just said in the comments, Kanye was harassed once he became more God-fearing and dedicated his life to Jesus. They're like, he must have lost his mind. Whereas this guy, it's a bunch of conservatives going, what in the baker's F is going on right now? Did this video really just, how is this not something banned when we're banning everything else? How is this not starting to lean towards what the book of Revelations was talking about? It's not even crazy anymore. This is actually happening right in front of us. So there's that. There's what's going on in Myanmar, and Bobby Sauce always talks about it. Like, what's the distractions? What are the distractions going on? Meanwhile, there's literally genocide happening in a country in Myanmar, which is in Asia. Google it, see what's going on. Twitter will tell you what's happening. Meanwhile, you've got Global Citizen, which is this huge mega brand of wannabe charities that literally is busy worrying about everybody turning their power off at 8 p.m. like tonight or something like that to show the world powers that climate control is possible. Like, how about the genocide going on? How about the demonic shit going on all over this world? Like, there is so much. Aubrey, what's the question? Who am I talking about right now? I'm talking about Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X, I'm talking about Myanmar, I'm talking about our government, and this is my side, this is alleged because I'm just guessing, but, you know, Krispy Kreme giving out a year of donuts to people that get the sauce, get the juice. I feel like there might have been a little bit of, like, I would like to look at their balance sheet to see if there's this random, like, $15 million that nobody can trace and see where that's from. Like, oh, government's gonna, like, it's like a gigantic marketing campaign to continue to make people sick and reliant on the government. I had a philosophy years ago where I was like, what if we had a government subsidy that looked at people that were out of shape, hypertension, overweight, diabetes, etc., and said you get free gym membership and the gym membership is paid for by the government as long as you're showing progress on a weight loss journey, health journey, etc. Think about how much money that would save on the back end, because how much we pay in this country for our biggest killer, which is heart disease, all these different things like diabetes. Think about how that would actually have an impact on our country in the future financially, which would be spend money now on getting people healthy again, spend money now on taking and making healthy food more affordable instead of going to Whole Foods and spending your whole paycheck. Like, why can't we have a way of controlling this in the positive way, like government control on investing in the American health public, and instead of putting patchwork, like, get this vaccine, I tell you it's going to be good for you, take some donuts and get overweight again. Like, it's so friggin' ridiculous. And I mean, I think even last week, as we're seeing what's going on with Joe Biden and the inability to have a press conference, the cheat sheet it's not the cheat sheet of the names. I get that. It's a cheat sheet of the order of the questions he knew he had to ask. That's the scary part. That is the issue that I have with the cheat sheet. The issue I have is the fact that we are ignoring the fact we're not ignoring. We're starting to realize that even Saturday Night Live was making fun of Biden, which, if you watch the Weekend Review this week, I actually give them props and kudos. Well done. They laid pretty hard into Biden. So I'm gonna give them props for that. Yes, Amber, because illness makes money. And that's about where I'm going to end today. We actually have a cool guest coming on. He's the Capital Doobie Smoker. He's going to be on Truth Will Set You Free this week on episode number 45, which is an episode dedicated to talking about Donald Trump. If there's any Democrats who would like to come on and talk about why they hated him and why he was so terrible, or ex-Republicans that hated him, I would love that. We're going to talk about all the positives that he did, and the potential of him. Amber, you're funny. Absolutely not. I've always wanted, I had a trip. So Amber asked, are you going to take the vaccine? I had a trip planned to Italy right before Corona, and I couldn't, obviously it got canceled. And right now, like, I've always wanted to travel to Italy. Being Italian, there's a bunch of countries I want to travel to. If I need a vaccine passport, I will not. I will not be going out of the country ever again. I've got an RV, thank God. And I'll just travel around the United States and see what we have to offer. If they start requiring it in this country, like they're doing, like in Israel, for example, you're a second-class citizen if you are not getting the vaccine. I don't know. I think depending on what happens with gun control rights, like I've always been a believer in basic gun controls. Like, let's have stricter background checks. I do think we can prevent certain things. But the one thing that we're not looking at when they're banning some of these quote unquote assault rifles, because they don't know what an AR actually means, which is Armalite rifle. I think that they're not realizing that they're taking the power out of their citizens to protect themselves. I think they do realize that. Actually, what am I talking about? They completely know what they're doing, especially as the country gets weirder. And Michael Shea on Saturday Night Live was very, very funny on one comment that I'm sure some of the liberals watching did not hear or understand when he talked about the gun rights stuff. And he goes, what are you talking about? I bought a gun a year ago when all those white people were telling people to talking about defunding the police. That was a huge dig for Saturday Night Live standards. I was impressed at that. I thought that was pretty damn impressive. So yeah, they're taking the power away from the people to protect themselves. And I do think there is, as I said, there is a point to gun control in a certain level, because I do think we willy-nilly sell shit to people. And I do think there's one bill that actually, like, something, the kits where you build your own and there's no serial number. I agree. I don't like that idea, because I do think criminals can get their hands on that as well. Let's make them all tracked better. I'm fine with that. The problem with fear of tracking is a fear of them being able to take them. I hope it doesn't get to that point, but I do think if they poke the bear too hard, there's going to be some major changes in this country. It's going to be a place we don't want to live in for a year or two, because I do think it is going to be one side against the other, and I think it's going to get ugly real fast. That's all I've got to say. You can see it happening in Myanmar right now with them just having their independence marches and being mowed down and killed in the streets. Google it, check out what's happening out there, and see what can happen when a country loses control, or when a country like China is trying to take over. And then, of course, you've even got our world powers. We're all saying, well, Trump made us look foolish to the other countries. Vladimir Putin has challenged Biden to a debate just because he wants the world to see how weak we look. You should be terrified right now. You should be terrified if you're a Biden voter, or if you just were strictly like, it's no big deal who's in office. And I've said that we have the power to change the world around us. We have the power to go work in inner cities. We have the power to educate our friends, educate the people around us, all these different positive things, and help each other out. But when it comes to international powers, this is the issue. This is the fear we have, is other countries going like, all right, cool. The people are all confused about what's going on. They've been divided by our shitty media. They've been divided by all the different misinformation, fake news, all the issues that we have going on out there. They're weak as people. They're divided as people, and their leadership can't even have a conversation without a cheat sheet and cards. It's embarrassing. And that's all I've got to say today. Be the change you wish to see in the world by taking control of the world around you the best we can, by educating ourselves, learning what's going on, keeping your eyes open, continuing to have conversations with those across the aisle while listening. Those conversations are not just one-sided. Listen to what they have to say, do research together, have these conversations. That's how we take the world back. That's how we take our country back, is by becoming united as people again. Unite, don't fight. Be a streetlight, because only you can be the change we see in the world. And if you get too stressed out, remember to pray, America. And I will see you on Tuesday night. Capital Doobie Smoker spent some time in the joint with Cash, and he's got some stories to tell. So we will see you on Tuesday night. Peace.